Welcome to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and today we are headed to Clearwater, Florida, where I'm going to have a chat with Freda Drake of the Reps. Welcome, Freda.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, this is great. So one of the things I work with my clients on is that they need to check out if the media checks them out. And you said specifically at a bare minimum you need to have website and social media. So can you talk more about, what people need bare bones if they want to start pitching the media?
Great question. Absolutely, a website is mandatory. At one time, it wasn't, and I've been around long enough to remember when it wasn't, but these days, it's far more important than anything else you could have that represents your business. Secondarily, social media. You have to be posting regularly. You have to stay relevant. And you really need to be staying relevant on your website as well, whether it's a blog or other types of postings. You need to be up to date and you need to continue to provide fresh material.
And I know people are going to hear this and think, social media, it's such a big task. Do you recommend, and I tell my clients this too, you don't have to be everywhere. What do you recommend is kind of the best place for an expert, to put their content? Do they need to be on LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, or can they just kind of be really good on one platform?
That's a very good question. It kind of depends on the industry they're in, but generally speaking, when it comes to social media, the big ones are going to still probably be Twitter, definitely Facebook. TikTok is a new rising star, which I think a lot of people are harnessing. There's a great deal of controversy about TikTok, which we can go into later if you want to, but TikTok is relevant, and Instagram, and absolutely LinkedIn. My top three would be LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
How are you seeing that play out for them?
Great question. Facebook is nothing that I would have to say as diplomatically as possible that I think that Facebook is taking a lot of wrong turns these days, as is Twitter. Because of that, I suspect they will continue to, over time, bleed a lot of customers into other social media channels. It's very difficult for even the average person to get their name out there or get their message out there, let alone a business. And because their models have always been kept in some secrecy, advertising is still relevant on it, but I certainly would supplement that with advertising on other platforms such as LinkedIn and Instagram. I think that we start to need to I think we begin to view Facebook more as almost a placeholder than we would view it as something where you can really engage with an audience these days. A particular concern is how they are really throttling back commentary for people, especially people who have a lot to say. The more you say, the less you are seen by others, and that becomes very problematic for a variety of reasons.
And I don't want to let our interview end without you talking about your book, because you do have an amazing book that people can use to really help elevate themselves and figure out this, some of this PR game. So let's talk about that.
Thank you. I'm going to be prejudiced. I love this book, but it was fun to write. I wrote it so that it was very easy to read. It wouldn't be scary. I tried not to throw a lot of statistics at people. Those of us who went to college and studied marketing, we know that you can just use numbers all day long and you can become nothing but a numbers cruncher. And instead, I tried to make it very relational. It's for the average business person or the average author who wants to promote themselves and doesn't really know how to go about doing it. A lot of people think they know how to do it. This book is there to tell them exactly what they do know and what they don't know, and how to go about perhaps doing their campaigns more successfully and truthfully on a truly honest basis. It's also to show people how tough it is and how they should perhaps consider subbing out and how they should value their PR teams. PR is not easy, and most people seem to take it for granted and think it's, anybody can do it. And that's absolutely not the case.
Tell us the name of your book and where they can get it.
Absolutely. It's publicity on steroids. You can get it where any fine books are sold, as they say, but I recommend Amazon.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Frida. That was wonderful. And everybody, check out her book.
Thank you, Christina. I really appreciate the time.
Great having you. So that was another edition of PR Champions. To learn more about Frida and the reps, head on over to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, and I'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.